Progress. All right, so welcome everyone. We are in our strength training class today. So we will be getting a full body workout. We'll have about four different giant sets or blocks with 5 exercises. So we'll go through a total of about 18 to 20 different movements. That should get us through the class today. And in between each set, we'll go ahead and take about 30 to 40 seconds rest. And then in between each block, we'll take about maybe 90 seconds to 2 minutes. And then, we'll finish off with the light cool down. And if you're joining me at 10 a.m. In the next hour, then we'll do more of a stretchy post-workout routine. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our warm-up. So just looking left to right. Lightly. I had this, I think I mentioned yesterday that my neck and back, shoulder was really tight, causing some pain. And it got a little bit better throughout the class, or the next 2 sessions I had, up and down. But I decided to take a nap in the middle of the day. I think that relaxed it a little bit. But then I went for a run, and the run, I think all the bouncing might have irritated it. So it felt not the best during the run, and I had to just keep my head looking down at towards my feet because it was irritating. Those are our neck circles. But anyways, I just went about the rest of my day. And in the evening, right before I went to bed, when I was brushing my teeth, I felt this really warm, almost hot sensation just run through my back, which is really weird. And soon after that sensation went away, my back just kind of relaxed a bit. So I don't know. Let's switch. I don't know if I just had some really bad tightness or like a knot, and that heat kind of just released. But it went from being very, intolerable to now manageable, where I still feel it there, but it's not as painful. Let's bring our right hand over. I'm just going to spend a little bit more time stretching that neck and shoulder area just so I don't re-aggravate it. But yeah, I've never had that happen. Has anyone had that happen before? Or they just felt like a sudden spasm or heat and then pain subsided? Let's switch.
Yes, plenty of times.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, I think your muscles were a little weary after all the activity, and then you probably slept in a certain position. Yeah. And you didn't like it.
Yeah.
Arnica.
I know. I gotta put that on it. I have some of that cream. When we take our little break right now, I'm actually gonna go rub some on. Cause yeah, you told me about it, and I went to go buy some. The Sir Snow Angels. Yeah, I think also what didn't help was good morning, Doris and Kathleen, Lisa, Ella. I think on the ride back over the weekend, we were in the vehicle for about 3 or 4 hours, and of course it's a pretty boring ride. So I think I was just constantly looking down at my phone. So I think just by sitting down and just being in that leaning over position for quite some time. I mean, I'm looking down how I would have my phone, and I could really feel that stretch. So I wouldn't be surprised if that also irritated it, or at least caused it. Let's bring that right arm across.
Here's what it looks like.
Yep, I have that. Yeah.
Okay.
I have it. Yeah, I'm going to go put some on right now. So, thank you. Yeah, you told me about it 2 months ago when I think it was my foot that was hurting. And I went to go buy it. I found it at Sprouts.
I use it too.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. So, We got a lot of people
Highly
vouching.
recommended.
Yeah, I'm gonna go put some on right now. Let's go left to right. Let's do our ab circles. So let's go ahead and hinge at the hip, come back. So, as you may know, this is our third week now. So, out of 10 weeks, we're getting there. And yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays, we will have these sessions. And this is more of like our typical, I guess how it would look on, this are big hula hoops. How it might look in the fall semester. So as I was mentioning yesterday, in the fall we'll meet on Mondays and Wednesdays, and we'll have a session like we will today, like a lifting or cardio session. And but today's lifting. I'm pretty sure we're gonna stick to that in the fall. And then right after we'll have the stretching session. I know Mondays we go cardio, and then it's like the second class is core and some strengthening. But this is pretty just more mirror like of what the fall will look like. Switch. All right, let's do our hamstring stretch. So slide your hands down your shins, grab your ankles, and extend. Let's do about 4 more. All right, and our last one's our deep squat stretch. So just wide stance and drop your hips down. Keep your torso upright. And rise. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go put some of this arnica on real quick. So let's go get our dumbbells, a chair, quick little 2 minutes rest. And then I just noticed that I think my body was trying to, or my shirt was trying to warn me, but I don't know if you guys could see, but my short just tore right there. So I think my shirt was warning me that something was gonna happen. But anyways, let's regroup in the next 90 seconds.
A mí se me hace bien raro de los tres. Pues sí, pero hay que dar cosas que no se ven pensar. Sí, será porque están más compactas o más abiertas en los pelos, desproporcionadas, más largas.
Hey, whoever was talking about the ointment, can you guys share a picture of it, please?
Pero ya sí, como foto. Está bien, porque lo que me lo tengo no está contigo. Sí, sí, tendrá que ir a está. Pero no tiene la. Eso que atrás, se ve atrás, y que arriba se ve esto, pero atrás es. sí es, pues, mira, creo que tiene cuarto. No, está tapando la foto, los de atrás, o se pone para que no se vea todo el... Que no se mira esto. No, que tenía la foto que puse. Y cuando de arriba ya te esto, pero no se ve. Estos son tatuajes.
Alrighty. So, welcome back everyone. We're going to go ahead and start off with dumbbell squats. Okay, then dumbbell front raises right here. I might go very light on that one with my shoulder. Then we have good mornings. So dumbbells here, lean forward and work on that lower back. We have push-ups, and then we have, those are the 4 movements, okay? So dumbbell squats, front raises, good mornings, and push-ups. So we're doing legs, shoulders, back, and arms. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our dumbbells. Dumbbell squats. So for these, you could go dumbbells right here or rest them on your shoulder or goblet style. Okay, ready? Go ahead and position yourself. And we're doing 10 to 12 of these. And begin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, and 12. All right, bring those down. Remember, we have about 30 seconds rest in between. Let me grab my lighter dumbbells. Where are my 5s? Yeah, so typically when something's aching, I really try not to lift too much with that muscle group or that joint. Alright, so now we have front raises, so just gripping the dumbbells, we bring them at shoulder height, that's working the front deltoids, okay? So same thing for this one, let's go 10 to 15. Go ahead and begin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, I'm doing 12. Sorry to feel it, don't want to overdo it. Okay, and the next one's going to be our good morning. So again, that's when we're holding our weight here and we're hinging at the hip and keeping your back straight and coming back. Okay, you could do this sitting down too. Just make sure that you separate your knees so you have some space to go in between. I have these plates here that I use for my larger bench, so this one sits a little bit better on my chest, so I'll use this. All right, so 10 to 12 good mornings. Ready and begin. 1, So hinge at the hip, keep your back straight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna go for 12, 11, and 12. Very good. Okay, and then the last one, we're gonna be on the floor, or you could always choose to do an elevated push-up. You could just use your chair or the floor, okay? So you could do, if you're on the floor, you could do a knee-assisted push-up, or you could just try to, if you can, a traditional push-up, okay? And if you're able to, then an elevated push-up with a higher piece of furniture. All right, we'll start in 5 seconds. All right, so get in position. And anywhere between 8 to 12 of these. Ready? And begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, so we'll take 2 minutes rest. That was our first set, so finish up, get your recovery. And then we're gonna go ahead and move on to the second block in about 90 seconds. Okay, about 30 seconds left. So first movement, we're gonna go with, you could have a goblet style curtsy lunge. So hold your dumbbell here, come across, and we're gonna do 8 on each leg. And we have a dumbbell Arnold standing press, or dumbbell curl. So we're gonna do a curl, rotate, and press up. That's our Arnold press. Dumbbell bent over row, so 1 at a time, supported. Bring 1 arm here. You want to use a chair to support yourself, so we could do 1 arm at a time. And then we're going to go ahead and do a standing hip adductor, standing Jane Fonda, where we're here and we lift this way, okay? So this set is targeting your shoulders, your arms, your back, and the lateral part of your legs. So your glutes, lateral glutes, and your IT band. All right. Here we go with the curtsy lunge. Remember, we're doing 8 on each leg, goblet style. And then come across and switch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, and 8. Whew. Feeling that burn in the glutes. Very good. All right. Next one's our standing Arnold press. They're dumbbells. So remember, dumbbell Arnold press. We're gonna go ahead and do the curl, rotate, press, and then here, okay? I'm doing 8 to 10 of those. All right, go ahead and grab your dumbbells. Palms are facing the screen. All right, and begin. So curl, rotate, press, down, rotate back in and down. So that's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. This one doesn't feel too bad, so I'm gonna go for 10. 8. 9. And 10. All right. Hopefully it's getting loose a little bit here. All right, dumbbell bent over row. So grab your chair. So we could use that for support. So we'll start shortly. If you want to grab your dumbbell, and remember this one's a dumbbell bent over row, so support yourself with the hand, dumbbell to your side, and come back down. So this one's going to be 10 on each arm or each side. Okay? Go ahead and begin. So exhale on your way down. Make sure you're looking down. And then inhale on your way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? Reset. Make sure you don't hurt yourself when you're resetting. And start the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. All right. So this next one, if you happen to have a mini band, which are the bands that you could loop around your lower legs, you could use that for this one. So, and if you don't have one, it's totally okay. Even if you have ankle weights, this would be one for your ankle weights. You would put that around your lower legs, and you would just kind of separate here and do that. So, I actually do have mine pretty handy close by. Oh, this is the heavy resistance one though, so I don't know. No, that's not gonna go anywhere. There's definitely, I can't do this one standing. Maybe laying, but not standing. Let me check real fast. Can't get to it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do just free weight here. So this one, just standing, it's working on your balance too. You're gonna go up and down. So if you have your bands, just make sure you hold on to something because it could be a bit challenging doing these without any counter. So give me 8 to 10 on each leg. Keep your torso upright. Very good. I'm gonna switch sides. Working on your balance. Extra credit. Awesome. Alrighty. That's set number 2. So 2 minutes rest, grab your water, and yeah, let's go ahead and get ready for the next set. Alright, so set number 3, we have our dumbbell polyquin lateral raises. So remember, this is a hammer curl. Elbows flare out, and then extend the elbows, and then back down. So then we have dumbbell goblet lateral lunge. Dumbbells here, step to the right, drop your hips. Come back, do the same on the other side. You're gonna do 8 on each leg. Supported tricep kickbacks. Use a chair for support. Elbow at your side and extend here. Okay. And then we're gonna go with prisoner elbow to knee for a little bit of core, maybe a little bit of cardio. So just right here, bring that elbow to the knee. Okay, we're gonna do 12 on each side. So we could alternate for that one as well. Okay, set number 3, so grab your dumbbells. We have 8 dumbbell polyquin lateral raises. Alright, so hammer curl, this means my palms are facing each other and towards my midline, and begin. So curl, out, extend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's go down. All right, we have our lateral lunges in 20 seconds. So give yourself some space. Alright, I'm going to do these diagonally here. Ready? And begin. 8 on each leg. So drop, hips down, keep that torso as upright as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm doing 8, 5, 6, 6, 7, and 8. Whew. Good work. Oh, 7 pounds. All right, our tricep kickbacks are next. So you want to get the same position as our bent over rows. Okay. So again, for this one, bend over here, elbow to your side, and extend. Okay. Total of 8 of these per arm. Calf got tight. All right, let's go ahead and begin. So bend over, elbow to your side, and begin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you feel good, go for 10, 8, 9, 10. All right, readjust and aim for the other side. Elbow at your side, and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Come back and reset. There you go. Good job. Tricep kickbacks are done. Total of 16. 7 pounds. All right. And then now we're going with our prisoner position, elbow to opposite knee. Okay. So we'll start those in about 10 seconds. All right, ready? Elbow to knee. So 10 on each side. Go ahead and begin once you're ready. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do the same side. And then just find it a little bit more easier to get it over with. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I'm gonna switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ooh. Very good. 90 seconds rest. And again, grab your water if needed. I have my little slant board. I'm actually going to stretch my calf right now. My calf feels funky. So I just have this, I think I bought this on Amazon. But it's just a board that's angled and you could reposition the slope so you get a nice stretch. Okay, grab some water. Going into our last set here. Alright. And it has some sandpaper too so your feet don't slide. Or you don't slide away from it. Okay. Going into our last set. So we have underhand dumbbell front raises. So palms are facing the camera. We're here and we meet up here. That's going to be our first one. Then we have we're going to incorporate a little bit of balance work. So single leg or extended chair squats. Okay. 8 on each leg. We have dumbbell thrusters, which is going to be close stance squat, close stance position, go down, come up, and press. That's our third one. And then we have, this one's 5. So then we have standing calf raises, dumbbells at your side, and just heel raises there, stretch out your calves. And the last one's going to be kettlebell shoulder shrugs, or dumbbell shoulder shrugs. Have your dumbbells at your side, and you're just going to bring your shoulders up to your ears and then back down as you can. All right, so 5 movements for this last set. All right, let's go ahead and grab those dumbbells. We're doing 10 of these. Ready? And begin. So come up. Remember, your palms are facing the screen when you start. So it's an underhand grip. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Put those down. All right. Once you're done with those, find your chair. We have our chair squats. And if you just want to do regular chair squats, give me 16, okay? But the goal is to do leg extended. So we usually only do these on Fridays and Saturdays if you're in those classes. So we'll just get a little bit of balance work right here. So again, you could extend that right leg a little bit, or fully extend it, or elevate it, and begin. So 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Awesome. I'm gonna switch. Whenever you're ready, you can start the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Whew, that one wore me out a little. Good job, folks. We were feeling good.
Sorry, I had to run off. This is Ella.
You're okay?
I had an urgent message that wasn't all that urgent.
Okay.
But I'm sorry I left.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll be back for the next class.
Sure. All right, no problem. Let me see. Shabana, I just saw your chat. I can't remember what you're referring to. It says,
It was the ointment that somebody was talking about.
That Kathleen. Let me see. Let me go bring it once we're done with the session. So, let's go with dumbbell thrusters. I'll go get it right after this one. So this one's, I guess, close stance. Come up here, come and rotate and push. Alright, so grab your dumbbells. We're doing 8 to 10 of these. Alright, so ready and begin. So feet are close together and rotate. So this is pretty much a dumbbell Arnold press with a combined with the closed stance squat. You do these fast enough, you definitely get a cardio workout. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Our last 2 movements are pretty easy. Doesn't require too much muscle activation. So our first one's gonna be our calf raises. So we're here, and just give me 20 of these. So hold your dumbbells to your side and just up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Right? And you could roll into the shoulder shrugs right here. So not much rest needed, so just shoulders up, shoulders down, shoulders up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. All right, so go ahead, start your cool down. Could have a seat real quick. Let me go get that cream real fast. I'll be right back. Alrighty. So, for those of you watching the recording, this is the stuff, but this is what it's called. So I found this at Sprouts. I forget how much it was, but that's where I got it. So
Thank you.
yep. So yeah, so those of you that are joining me at 10, feel free to kind of do what you got to do between now and then. But if you want to just stick around with me, I'm going to do some of the shoulder stretches right now. I'm going to sit on my left hand, right hand over. You can really do any stretches that benefit you if you're tight anywhere. But I'm just going to focus on these right now. I'm going to switch. Right hand. And last one, right here, before we just go on a quick intermission. Hands behind my head and elbows down. and relax. All right, folks. So, quick little break. I'm gonna go make myself a little electrolyte drink. So I'm planning to go on a run after. But everyone else, feel free to